Welcome back to Building Character, where we figure out how to play as your favorite fictional characters in Dungeons & Dragons. Join the Patreon to vote for Killua or Kurapika from Hunter x Hunter, and like and subscribe for a better hand next time you play. Maybe. Today we're building Seto Kaiba, our second Yu-Gi-Oh character, which is really weird. The Yugi video is one of my biggest hits. For some reason, the monetization was off the charts on that one, and it's really out of date, being released before Tasha's new summoning spells and using the first unearthed arcana version of the Genie Warlock. So yeah, we need a new duelist to update that old build, but I'll be honest, it's mostly the money thing. I guess I'm getting into character early. Let's start off with our goals for this build. First, we need the most powerful card in the game, Blue Eyes White Dragon. Next, we need to combine 3 of those into a more powerful card. I lied, there's a more powerful card now. Finally, we'll build the rest of our deck. It's gonna be expensive, but hey, collectible gaming is pay to win. And if you're playing that collectible game in a fictional game where you can decide how rich your character is, make your character rich. For stats, we'll be using the standard point array from the player's handbook. Roll for stats if you want, just keep your multi-classing minimums in mind. Intelligence will be number 1. You've got the best tutors at your disposal and the strategic mind from the get-go. Charisma next, you need to have a poker face to play duel monsters. I guess a duel monsters face. Wisdom next, you also need to read your opponent's duel monster face. Follow that up with dexterity. Drawing cards with a flourish isn't important, but it is cool. Constitution is a bit low. You have monsters to take hits for you and will dump strength. You only need to lift a duel disc. It's not like Kaiba is going to help anyone move into a new apartment. None of his friends are renting. Kaiba is a human, but he's also a reincarnated priest, so should we go human or reborn? Why not custom lineage, since that could be anything? Even a human reborn, that's what Kaiba should be. Grab skill expert to bump your intelligence right away. Go for intimidation as well. If it wasn't clear, we're gonna mostly invest in intelligence. This will make sure you're still good at talking trash. Bump your intelligence to 18 with your 2 free points. Take deception for your skill of choice and the noble background for history and persuasion. Your adopted parents are pretty loaded. Then you took that money and turned it into more money. Pretty common move for rich people. Of course, nobles also get proficiency with one type of gaming set. Kaiba's gotta be a gamer. We'll kick things off as a wizard for 2 skills from the wizard list, like Arcana and Insight, letting you know the magic in the cards and get a read on your opponents. Of course, wizards also have a spell book with 6 first level spells in it at level 1. For you, I think that's a deck of cards. Lots of players literally bring spell cards to the table. It's just an extra element of roleplay for you. You can prepare a number of spells equal to your wizard level plus your intelligence modifier, so 5 at this point, then you can draw more as you level up. Find Familiar is a great summoning spell to start off with. Summoning a tiny beast that you can sense things through and cast touch range spells through. We'll grab a cantrip specifically for that right away, Shocking Grasp. That deals 1d8 lightning damage with a melee spell attack. It's one of very few touch range damaging spells. There's another one we'll grab a little bit later. Back to your first level spells. Charm Person charms a humanoid for an hour if they fail a wisdom saving throw. Cause Fear frightens a creature for up to a minute, giving you magical ways to use your charisma, but mostly use your intelligence for your charisma. Identify tells you what a magical item is and how many charges it has left, so you know what cards are doing. Silvery Barbs lets you give a creature disadvantage on an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw as a reaction, then give another creature of your choice advantage on their next ability check, attack roll, or saving throw. It lets you insult your opponent and make yourself better as a result. Perfect bully move. Unseen Servant summons an invisible helper to do chores for you. It can't attack, but it's always nice to have a butler on hand. For your other 2 cantrips, Chill Touch lets you make a ranged spell attack against a creature, dealing 1d8 necrotic damage and preventing the target from healing. With a spooky spectral hand, you summon, sapping their life points. Mage Hand creates a floating spectral hand that can lift up to 10 pounds, giving you another way to keep your dueling hands nice and pristine. All wizards get Arcane Recovery, letting you recover half your wizard level in spell slots on a short rest. Drawing more cards is always a great idea, even if it's possibly considered greedy. Pot of greed. It's a pot of greed reference. Second level wizards can choose a school. If you're summoning monsters, Conjuration is the best choice. Minor Conjuration lets you create an object as an action that weighs up to 10 pounds and it can be 3 feet long. Maybe you stack your deck with cards, maybe you're just a rich dude who always has the things you need. No doubt Kaiba has deep pockets in his big old jacket. For this level's spells, let's get some options to protect your life points, with Mage Armor to set your AC at 13 plus your dexterity modifier when you're not wearing armor, and Shield to add 5 to your AC as a reaction. Just throw down a monster in defense mode that you don't care about. or an employee, either or. Third level wizards can learn second level spells, and other than Phantasmal Force, there aren't really all that many that I need, but that makes an illusion that can deal damage to creatures who don't realize it's a hologram, 1d6 psychic damage at a time. It's probably the most authentic dual monsters spell, but I think it'll be more fun later when we can make the monsters real. Pyrotechnics makes a cool little distraction, either a flashbang or a smoke bomb. The flash forces a constitution saving throw on creatures and blinds them if they fail. The smoke bomb heavily obscures the area if you'd rather run away, just for some flourishy type stuff. Fourth level wizards get an ability score improvement or a feat. We're gonna go for the shadow touched feat because your feet were touched by the shadow realm. That bumps a soft stat by 1. Like intelligence, you can cast the spell invisibility once per day for free, making a creature invisible for an hour depending on your concentration, but I'm really here for a first level spell you can cast once per long rest for free, like inflict wounds, which makes a melee spell attack that deals 3d10 necrotic damage to a creature with a touch range. That means you have another option to cast through your Find Familiar, and we now have a viable summoned fighter at level 4. It's going to be a while before we get another option. Fifth level wizards get more options, like Summon Shadow Spawn. That summons a monstrosity based on fury, sorrow, or fear. They all have different abilities and stats from Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. Reading all the stats takes way too long, so here's the highlights. Fury has advantage on attacks against frightened creatures. Despair reduces enemy movement speed by 20 feet, and fear can hide in dim light or darkness. Tasha really brewed up a lot of dual monsters for you, like Summon Fae, which summons one of 3 types of Fae, a Fuming, Mirthful, or Tricksy Fae. All of them can teleport 30 feet as a bonus action, but Fuming Fae gain advantage on their next attack roll after they teleport. Mirthful Fae can force a wisdom saving throw on a creature to charm them, and Tricksy Fae can create some darkness that could give you a bit of cover. 6th level conjuration wizards get benign transposition, letting you teleport 30 feet, which isn't really a Kaiba thing, but you can also swap places with a small or medium creature that's willing, letting you put your monster out in the fight instead of yourself. You have 1 use of this per long rest for free, but get 1 back when you cast a conjuration spell. Pretty much perfect since conjuration is your whole thing. Speaking of, let's summon some more. Summon Undead gives you 1 of 3 types of undead: putrid, ghostly, or skeletal. Putrid undead can poison creatures. Ghosts can move through enemy spaces, and skeletons have less health and a worse attack option. That sucks. I guess their attack is ranged, but the other ones have frightening and paralyzing effects too. Besides, summoning Skull is more of a Yugi thing. Summon lesser demons is a little different than Tasha's summons because it's worse. Well, it's riskier. You roll a d6. On a 1 through 2, you summon 2 demons of challenge rating 1 or lower. On a 2 through 4, you summon 4 demons of challenge rating 1/2 or lower. And on a 5 through 6, you summon 8 demons of challenge rating 1/8 or lower. They are mad at everyone, including you. But as you cast the spell, you can make a circle to keep yourself safe. Eventually, we'll be able to tame them. 7th level wizards can learn 4th level spells. Charm Monster will help you tame some unruly monsters, forcing a wisdom saving throw on any creature and charming them for an hour if they fail. But that would only get 1 demon, not a bunch of tiny ones. So let's get 1 big one. Summon Greater Demon summons 1 demon of challenge rating 5 or lower that you can command on your turn. It makes a charisma saving throw on each turn to try and break out of your control, but since it lasts for an hour, just charm that monster and no sweat. 8th level wizards get another ability score improvement. Round off your intelligence and round up your wisdom, since those are both odd numbers. The big intelligence score will make your summons better. The wisdom will also help your insight checks. Let's grab some more Tasha's summon options now. Summon Construct lets you summon an automaton made of clay, metal, or stone. The clay construct can make an opportunity attack when it's attacked or move closer to creatures if there's nobody in melee range. Metal constructs deal a d10 of fire damage to creatures that hit them with a melee attack, and stone constructs slow enemies down and stop them from taking reactions. Summon Abjuration summons some weirdo stuff: a Beholderkin, a Slod, or a Star Spawn. The Beholderkin can hover, the Slod can recover, and the Star Spawn can force a wisdom saving throw on a creature next to it, dealing 2d6 psychic damage to those that fail. Kind of breaks the hover recover rhyme chain I was going for there. 9th level wizards can learn 5th level spells, which means Kaiba can finally bust out his most expensive card with Summon Draconic Spirit. The dragon stats are in Fizban's Treasury of Dragons, but since this is the most important one, I'm going to go through them a little more thoroughly. You have 14 plus the spell level you cast the spell with in AC, 50 HP, 60 feet of flying speed, resistance to acid, cold, fire, lightning, or poison damage if it's chromatic or metallic. Blue Eyes White Dragon is probably chromatic, or force, necrotic, psychic, radiant, or thunder damage if it's a gem. The radiant seems more like Blue Eyes' laser breath, so maybe that's your move. The breath weapon forces a dexterity saving throw on creatures in a 30-foot cone, dealing 2d6 damage of a type they resist to those that fail, half as much to those that succeed after it makes 2 rends with its claws. Those deal 1d6 plus 4, plus the spell's level in piercing damage. It can really bust out an all-out offense, which is is probably why Kaiba likes it so much, and it's a big flex. For your other spells, let's get some buggy, poisony stuff with Cloud Kill, creating a 20-foot radius cloud that forces a constitution saving throw on creatures inside, dealing 5d8 poison damage to those that fail, half as much to those that succeed. It's not as good as Blue Eyes, just get Blue Eyes going. 10th level Conjuration Wizards get Focused Conjuration, meaning that you can't drop concentration on a conjuration spell as the result of taking damage. You're only going to drop concentration when you summon another monster, obviously sacrificing it to make room for your big bad blue boy. But what if you didn't have to choose? Now that we have a 5th level spell, you can get some more permanent conjuration, if you don't mind spending a bit of money. Magic Circle creates a 10-foot radius, 20-foot high cylinder that stops celestials, elementals, fiends, fae, or undead from getting through. Those creatures can't move through the cylinder, their attacks are made through it with disadvantage, and they can't charm, possess, or frighten a creature on the other side. Flip it inside out and trap a demon inside. Then use the spell Planar Binding, forcing a charisma saving throw on the creature after the 1-hour casting time. If they fail, you have total control over them for 24 hours, no concentration required. Neither of these spells require concentration. Done this combo before, several people said they did. They don't, just check it. The issue is Planar Binding costs 1,000 gold, Magic Circle costs 100. So every time you cast the spell, you need 1,100 gold. However, upcasting the spell Planar Binding does not require extra money, and a 6th level slot gives you control for 10 days, a 7th level slot gives you control for 30 days, an 8th level slot gives you control for 180 days, and a 9th level slot gives you a full year. Pretty sure with a challenge rating 5 demon under your control, you can probably make 1,100 gold per year. Now, we just need some 9th level spell slots. 11th level wizards do not get 9th level spell slots, but you do get 6th level slots for a 6th level spell like Summon Fiend. That's another Tasha's Conjuration, giving you a devil, demon, or Yugoloth. The devil can see in magical darkness. The demon explodes on death, forcing a dexterity saving throw on creatures within 10 feet of it, dealing 2d10 plus the spell's level and fire damage, and the Yugoloth has the most HP with the ability to teleport 30 feet after it attacks. Legend Lore is a 5th level spell that lets you know about a person, place, or thing of legendary renown. The more you know about it, the more information you get, which could help you track down the elusive 4th Blue Eyes White Dragon card. You should know a bit about it, since you have the other 3. 12th level wizards get another ability score improvement or a feat. Let's bump your charisma modifier, since that will help you bluff, bully, and business. Business could be a verb. For this level spell, Infernal Calling is a 5th level spell, summoning a devil of challenge rating 6th level or lower that is outright hostile to you, but obviously just summon it inside your magical circle, then you'll have a new favorite duel monster that won't murder you. Well, a second favorite dual monster. Unfortunately, the Magic Circle trick doesn't work on the Tasha's or Fizban conjurations, since you're not actually grabbing the extra planar entity, just borrowing its spirit, which means getting triple Blue Eyes White Dragon is difficult. 13th level wizards still can't do that since they can only learn 7th level spells, but Plane Shift will let you send someone to the Shadow Realm if they fail a charisma saving throw after you make a melee spell attack against them. This is the ultimate find familiar attack, since you can just straight up use a ghostly owl to send someone to hell. You can also take up to 8 willing creatures on a vacation to another plane. I'd just use it to send people to the Shadow Realm though. 14th level Conjuration Wizards get durable summons, giving your conjured monsters an extra 30 temporary HP. For on-the-fly summons, this is pretty good, but considering you might be trapping a demon in your cards for a whole year, it doesn't really last all that long. 15th level Wizards can learn 8th level spells, and I think the best way to get a triple Blue Eyes is to get a dragon 3 times as powerful, right? So, Illusory Dragon summons a real fake dragon. That's an illusion, but it's tangible. Creatures that can see it make a wisdom saving throw to avoid being frightened. You can use your bonus action to make it move 60 feet and shoot a 60-foot cone that forces an intelligence saving throw on creatures inside, dealing 7d6 acid, cold, fire, lightning, or poison damage to those that fail, half as much to those that succeed. If a creature makes an investigation check against your spell DC, they can get advantage on that saving throw, but they're always going to take at least half damage. It lasts for a minute depending on your concentration, which is a slight weakness. Since this is an illusion spell, taking damage can make you drop it. Maybe try and hang back. Just let the huge dragon cover you. Just a thought. 16th level wizards get another ability score improvement or feat. Might as well go for charisma. It's the most in character move, since you really only need intelligence to embarrass lesser duelists. 17th level wizards can learn 9th level spells. Foresight lets you make yourself a much better duelist for 8 hours, giving you advantage on attack rolls, ability checks, and saving throws, and creatures attacking you will have disadvantage on their rolls. But having a demon work for you 365 days a year with a 9th level planar binding is much better in my opinion. Just have foresight on the few days of the year you can't afford to buy a new fiend. 18th level wizards get spell mastery, letting you choose a spell of 1st level and 2nd level to cast for free like cantrips. Find Familiar gives you a free weak monster to summon, and Phantasmal Force is the basic version of playing dual monsters. 19th level wizards get another ability score improvement, cap off your charisma modifier to be just as good at bullying as you are with playing cards. Our capstone is the 20th level wizard, giving you 2 signature spells. These are 3rd level spells you can cast once per long rest for free. Pick your 2 favorite Tasha summons, and then don't waste a slot. Honestly, I think spell mastery is better, and spell mastery also sounds more impressive than signature spells. Anyway, it's 2 free minutes of summon help. You're not really good at doing things yourself. Now that we've hit level 20, let's figure out how viable this build is. First, you can have an unlimited number of demons and devils helping you with magical circle and planar binding. But even if you don't want to do that, you can also grab a lot of summons on the fly with Tasha's conjurations. Finally, capped charisma and intelligence are very helpful for roleplay. For weaknesses, you need money really bad. You might have a lot of money, but you need a lot of money. You also have terrible HP, probably less than 100, making you basically a commoner. Finally, even though summoning is fun, you can only have 1 concentration spell up at a time. You have to pick and choose, but that's fine. You only need 1. Or an army of demons. You can do both. Just make sure you're only playing with other duelists, otherwise you could end up in the Shadow Realm. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe for more. We make 2 videos every week. Join the Patreon to vote for Killua or Kurapika from Hunter x Hunter, and sub to Tulok and Mango for more Tulok fun.